What's wrong with your camera, Simon?
I didn't shave.
Good to go.
Just confuse the issue altogether here.
All right, good to go.
Okay. I'd like to call to order the Committee of the Whole virtual meeting via Zoom, July 27th, 2020. And just so everyone knows, Councillor Luan and Mayor McGilvery are here, but you just cannot see them. So could I have a motion? No, first of all, is there any additions to the agenda?
I have two, Deputy Mayor. One, I would like to add under correspondence, letter C, a thank you note from Mr. and Mrs. Jackson. And number 8 on the agenda, I would like to add sidewalk options for Rundle Street.
Okay, thank you. Could I have a motion to accept the agenda along with the added?
So move.
So that was moved by Gary and seconded, Councillor Pence, and seconded by Councillor Lawn.
Correct.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So
June
moved.
22nd.
So moved.
Okay.
I'll second.
Who was the seconder?
Simon.
Danny.
Oh,
Or Danny, I'm sorry. Can't see them.
okay, so it was moved by Councillor Knight and seconded by Mayor McGilvery. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Aye.
Motion passed. Business arising from the minutes. Susan, I guess you're gonna take that?
Yeah, so there was a letter received from Communities, Culture and Heritage regarding the Heritage Property Act, and Councillor Pence had asked that that go to the Planning Advisory Committee, and that went to that meeting on July 15th, and they did discuss it, and it was received for information.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And seasonal water testing.
Yes, so Councillor Lawan brought this issue to the Committee of the Whole in June. It was discussed at the council meeting held on July 13th through the town engineer's report. But since it was brought up at the last Committee of the Whole, I just wanted to inform council officially that there was the test that came back proved that it was jasmine and a substance called MIB, which is still very safe. We have a frequently asked question on the taste and odor of the water on our Facebook, or sorry, on our website, as well as the frequently asked question sheet has been sent to all of council. But basically what it is, we received obviously reports of water seeming musty, tasting dirty, and smelling moldy. The town monitors water properties daily to ensure that although the water has had these aesthetic changes, it has always remained safe for the use and consumption. Recent test results from a private third-party accredited laboratory have confirmed the presence of jasmine and MIB, two naturally occurring compounds in surface water, such as lakes, rivers, streams, and dams. And it's in our water supply. While these levels have had an impact on the taste and smell, they are not toxic or harmful. So it is safe, and again, water is tested daily. Typically, they've noticed that it occurs approximately 2 to 4 weeks every year. However, since these are compounds that occur naturally, it is possible to predict, or it is impossible rather, to predict the onset of jasmine and MIB in the water. We did have very hot weather in June, which is not usual, and that brought out the taste, and I think it prolonged it longer than 2 to 4 weeks, and that's why it was such an issue this year, because it was so much longer. But the town engineer and the department are looking at some alternatives for council's consideration to see if there's a way that it can be treated. There are also instances in Halifax that have the exact same issue that Stellarton has as well. So he is talking to some of his colleagues in Halifax to see some of the things that they've done, and if it's something that's to be done here in Stellarton. And that'll be for council's consideration.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Any comments?
Yeah, this is Simon. Thank you, Susan, for the report. I appreciate it. And as discussed before, the engineer is going to start looking at some options and to present them to council.
Thank you. We'll move on to correspondence. I guess, Susan, that's you again.
Yeah, so the Pictou Antigonish Regional Library has submitted their financial statements dated March 31st, 2020. And it's just for council's consideration. I don't know if there's any questions that if you want me to bring back to them, if you have any questions, I can do that.
Any questions? Moving along.
Yes, the next thing is the Community Sports and Recreation Division regarding the Provincial Volunteer Awards. And typically the volunteer reception for the province and the town is usually held in April. Obviously, due to COVID, those plans have been changed. So we received a letter last week from Bill Greenlaw. He's the Executive Director of the Community Sports and Recreation Division. Dear friends, I hope you are all keeping well. We want to keep you updated on plans for the Provincial Volunteer Award celebration this year. With the unpredictability of the pandemic status throughout the summer and fall, the department has decided to host a broadcast style virtual Facebook live stream event on Monday, September 28th. Production plans are well underway with more details to follow over the next several weeks. This year, First Nation and Municipal Representative Volunteer Award recipients will not be required to attend in person. Awards and event programs will also be shipped to each recipient. A hyperlink will be sent to council and the award recipient in advance to view the live stream event. The event will be also advertised through social media to encourage all Nova Scotians to watch it live or at a more convenient time. This year will mark the 46th year for the Nova Scotia Provincial Volunteer Awards. Because volunteers are key to making this province and our community so vibrant and resilient, we didn't want to cancel this very important annual opportunity to recognize their valuable contributions. So Bill Colburn is the town of Stellarton's representative for this year. And what we have been talking about internally here is we will also do something virtually to celebrate not only Bill, but our other volunteers that have volunteered in the town of Stellarton, which we normally, we honor them at the Stellarton Fire Hall. So what we're going to do, we are going to showcase and highlight a volunteer that has been nominated and through Facebook and on our website, and then present Bill virtually with his plaque and for the town of Stellarton.
Okay, well, that's a great idea. It's good that they are going ahead to recognize these volunteers. Okay, now C, thank you.
Yes, dear Mayor, Council, thank you so much for acknowledging our 60th wedding anniversary. Who said teenage marriages don't last? Stay safe, Alberta and Frank Jackson.
That's nice.
Yes, very nice.
Number 6, the Birch Hill Interpretive Panel.
Councillor Knight, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, thank you. I just put something together here. If you give me a minute here, I'll read it off. Once I was asked by a newly elected MLA what I thought was most important to the constituents and how he could best serve them. My answer was simple. You can best serve constituents by addressing their personal passions. That is where their desires lie. National and provincial topics are secondary. Recently, I was contacted on this very topic, a personal issue, near and dear to the heart of Jimmy Swain. Jim had passion when he brought his narrative to my attention. He was frustrated by the lack of concern for his plight. I speak about the Birch Hill Orphanage, where an open wound has festered deep within his soul. With fever in his voice, he pronounced, "My greatest wish is to see this fixed before I die." We have within our control the ability to grant his wish. Child psychologists will tell you early childhood is where personalities develop. Birchill was a stopgap solution, a place to warehouse unsupported children of the day. In this home at this time, there was no provision to accommodate mental anxieties or provide a stable family bond. Some who passed through Birchill did gain prominence, while others fell through the cracks, possibly from an emptiness derived from an unfulfilled childhood. Alcoholism and drug abuse became a crutch for some. Jim Swain's only tie to the past are memories and pictures saved on a computer. He struggles each day with the painful thought his home has been destroyed. For me, it is hard to imagine the hurt that derives from growing up outside a family environment. I have heard this pain emanate from my brother-in-law, who's lost his mother at an early age, raised by his aunt and uncle, by mother-in-law and father-in-law. Can we change the past? Of course not. We can help provide some closure by addressing the wishes of those who suffer in silence. There's a simple request. They ask we provide and install an information plaque explaining the history of the building, from its inception to the housing of its clients, to the erection of the present-day facility. This building represents their family, their lost past. Before we came to council, residents reached out. A small plaque was installed, but lacked fanfare. They failed the group by excluding consultation from the residents, leaving them to hang on to faded memories and old photos. Yes, I received a call from Jim Swain. He was livid, and rightfully so. Promises were made. Jim feels deserted. Jim feels deserted by society and abandoned by politicians. Promised by council to rectify his concern. Jim's only desire is respect and recognition before he departs this world. The passion expressed by Jim was genuine. Since we were elected, we have honored others with a formal unveiling attended by council, while Jim's personal passion fell short of his expectations. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. John Ashton has worked in concert with Jim on a presentation providing history and photos. John has the expertise along with the information to make it happen. It is time we do the right thing and put our efforts into having it erected this summer, accompanied by an official opening. We need to make it right. I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and put this here plaque up for Jim and have John Ashton put it together. He has all the information and everything. I think, Susan, you have the cost of it.
Yes.
I'll second that motion, Brian.
On the question, I want to bring it to Councillor Knight's attention and the committee. Occurred in the previous council that I'm not really sure if Councillor Knight is aware of. At the time, there was also talk about a plaque for the Birchill home. And I remember Councillor Taylor and Councillor McLean at the time expressed some concerns about that there might have been other individuals in that home that might not have thought that this was a as worthwhile as experience as some others. So from that perspective at the time, before this council, it was decided to put in a small plaque and not go bigger than that. So I would ask maybe if the committee heritage can take it back and just maybe investigate a bit further that concern, just so that we are, crossing our T's and dotting our I's.
Well, I don't know. On the question there, Madam Chair, I don't know what the problem is, Simon. I don't know. You're going to have to explain that a little more to me.
At the time, those councillors were the one that brought that to our attention. They didn't really go into too much detail about who complained, if any. It was just that was the thought behind it in the past. I am in agreement with the plaque, so I'm not advocating not to have it. I just would prefer maybe if we can maybe delay it a little bit so that we can get maybe a little more information from other residents that were there.
Well, I think the problem is that's a problem. It's been delayed for too long. This here plaque is fully explain the building, why the building, how long it was there, what it was before the building. It was a miner's home. That's one of the concerns that he has, that they're being brushed off and they feel bad about it. And that's why I want to go forward with it now. If we send it to the Heritage Committee, which is just formed, that's going to take months, maybe even years again before it comes forward.
Well, you know what, Brian, the way I look at it, if they had a problem with it, why didn't they go to Jimmy Swain then, instead of him getting frustrated about it now? So I think that the motion stands as is. We put the plaque up.
Any other comments on that?
No?
So do you want to make you have already made there is a motion on the floor.
Yep.
So we just need
Vote.
a vote on that. Brian moved and Gary seconded it. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next item is the Aspen Street paving of extension. I
Yes.
believe we have a letter here, Susan.
Yes, sorry, this came from Town Engineer Blaine. Just basically, it's just an add-on to the capital request for paving up by Aspen Street there, an extension, and it would cost roughly $12,000 to add to the capital. And
Do we have it in the budget, Sue?
We do.
I make a motion that we go ahead and do that. I think it was overlooked.
I second.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion was made by Gary, seconded by Simon, that we go ahead with the paving of Aspen Street. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next, Rundle Street sidewalk.
Yeah, so this is another add-on to the agenda regarding, there's work being done now with regards to Rundle Street sidewalk. And the town engineer sent an email to council regarding some options for consideration regarding, there's a section of the sidewalk. So there were 3 options that need to be, so basically the sidewalks on both sides are in good shape, except on the east side between Allen and Church Lane, which is highlighted, and he showed council what he was talking about. This section is broken up in spots, and replacing small sections of sidewalk here will look odd. So he had 3 options: replace concrete as needed, which is in the original contract, and there will be bad sections in between reinstatements. Number 2, replace the section in its entirety, approximately $18,000. Or number 3, remove that one section and sod the area, which is approximately $4,000. And Blaine recommends going with number 3.
Okay, honey. Okay, thanks for calling.
Okay.
Let me know.
What's council
Mr.
opinion? What are
Okay.
thoughts?
Mr. Chair, this is Simon.
Get them girls a kiss in the house.
I think the precedent have been done in the past where we have removed multiple sidewalks on one side on several different other streets. So this would be the same situation. And we know how much our side shape, and so it would make sense for us to reduce some of the sidewalks so that we would be able to maintain them better. So I fully support the engineer's suggestion about option 3, and I would put that as a motion.
I would like to second that.
I'll second that motion.
On the question, make sure that you let the citizens know before it comes up. Because we had a situation here in town that we did rip the sidewalk up, and I don't think we told the people that we were doing it, and they were quite upset about it.
Yes, I'll
So
make sure
just make sure the citizens are told.
yes.
So noted. Motion on the floor to accept option 3 for the sidewalk situation on Rundle Street. So it was moved by Simon and seconded by Brian All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. So I think that's all that we have for this evening. Next meeting will be September the 28th at 5:30. Would somebody like to adjourn the meeting?
So moves, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Pence. Meeting adjourned.